And I'm live. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where tonight I'm going to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Ain't gonna happen, but we'll live to fight another day. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I hope you can hear me
Oh,
like
I
the
can hear
video.
you. We can hear you just fine. I appreciate you doing this so last minute, y'all. I am just getting home. I had a busy day today. It was a busy Sunday. So I appreciate you being here.
Sunday
Why?
before Thanksgiving. It's the busiest.
Girl, when I tell you them grocery stores were so packed, I was so through with everybody. I was like, I got to go home. My knee hurt. It's cold here. I'm just, yeah, just in a mess. So, but I did watch this. I watched this a few times actually. I watched this while I was out. I watched this while I got home, and then I watched this at my mama's house. So I've been watching this all day today just to kind of make sure I ain't missed nothing. So the episode actually opens up with Trish. She meets up with her friend Sharon, and in my notes, y'all, I put this lady's name is Gloria. I don't know why I want to call this lady Gloria because I think I did that last season. And it's not, her name is Sharon. I'm going to be respectful. This lady's name is Sharon. So if I say Gloria at any point in these notes, please understand that that is my mind working. This lady's name is Sharon. So Gloria equals Sharon. I'll put it in the chat if y'all question me. But she tells Sharon, that Ken is, left the house for a few days. He's right now at this time, they're still trying to work out the kinks. Sharon said, yeah, I have not seen you since that whole debacle with, Ken and Marquez and everything. And she says, how are you doing? And she says, I'm doing good. I went to therapy. And Sharon asks, how's that going? She goes, it actually went really good. I'm crying a lot. And Sharon said, that's good. You need to cry. But Trish was like, no, I can't cry. I was never taught that crying was, a sense of strength. I always thought crying was, a sense of weakness. That's why I never do it. And in her confessional, she said, my kids have never seen me cry. I don't cry. And yeah, that is so problematic. I don't understand why we teach our children, as especially our color, because we see it mostly in our home, why we teach our children never to cry. I was never in that situation as a kid. My mom told me, cry if you need to. It's not a big deal. But I don't understand that whole concept that crying is weakness. It's actually not. It's a very big strength thing like to do. Hi, Shani. Thank you for being with us this late. I know it's late out in New York, so we appreciate you being out here with us this late in the evening. She also mentions in the therapy session, or not therapy, the conversation with Sharon that she went to her parents' gravesite. She has not been there in quite some time. And I, in a way, I relate to her because considering her parents died a few years ago, my dad died last year. I still have not been to the monument of where his name is printed because my dad was cremated. So overall, I didn't get to go, but I still have to go and see where my father's memorial momentum is in California. I still have to go. So I feel that with her, and oh gosh, it was sad. And she ended up crying at the lunch table. And I said, oh, wait, she's doing a lot of crying now. Things are finally hit it because once you start crying, you just can't stop, especially when you've been suppressing it all those years. So I'm glad that she's letting it out. I'm glad that she's not allowing it, to hold in. She needs to let all that go. She needs to start decompressing and she needs to start compartmentalizing some of that grief. So, Mrs. Best, I don't know how much you've seen it as you're currently on vacation, but based on my description of it, if you have seen it, how do you feel about Trisha's therapy last session and her explaining it to her friend?
Um, I did watch this scene. I was able to find the episode on YouTube. For those who don't know, I use YouTube TV for my cable, and the shit don't work in Mexico. So, but I did see that scene. I think it's good that Trish is being more vulnerable. I do think that a lot of people in general, I think more people in general in communities of color, not just the Black community, will be like, no need to cry or don't need to let anyone see me cry. I do think it's good that she went to therapy. I think it's good that her friend encouraged her to cry. Trish has a lot of stuff that she's working on that I feel like she needs to work on in actual therapy off TV, but I'm happy to see that she's starting somewhere. But I don't like that she's crediting her tears and stuff for like making her relationship better. Stop worrying about your relationship and just worry about you first. And that's why I still don't fully feel like Ken cares the way he says he does, and is not that great. Because if he really loved her, he'd step away and let her figure out her life, her situation, her emotions, like separate from the husband. She's had a cajillion deaths back to back. She's not good with emotions. Her kids are getting impacted. So I wish she wouldn't have commented on her relationship, because I want her to just heal her, if that makes sense.
I also agree with that. I want her to heal her too, and I feel like she cannot do that when it comes to her relationship with Ken. I feel like it's a huge distraction, and I feel like she's used it as a distraction for as long as she could until the thing started festering. And I don't think Marquez helped the situation when it came to that festering, because then she had to be reminded that he wasn't there to help her through the process of her grieving the way a husband should have. So I think that there's a lot going on in that. And I think also in terms, it look like next week we're going to get into it, but I hope that they're breaking down some of those barriers that she has, because she is so guarded and just so broken that I feel like she definitely needs to break some of those barriers down. Shout out to Kevin Reynolds. Thank you for being here with us. He said, "Hi, to currently not paying attention right now, watching it. Welcome to Derry. My next favorite to Lovecraft Country. We'll catch replay." Sounds good, Kevin Reynolds. Let me know how it Welcome to Derry is. I have not started it yet.
It's good.
Is
My
it good?
husband's been watching it. Yeah.
You've been watching it too?
Same with Lovecraft Country.
Oh,
They're
I love
both very
Lovecraft
good.
Country. Yeah, I'm so mad at Lovecraft Country didn't get a continuation. Mm. But yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I said I was gonna watch it. Maybe I'll get Gio to watch it with me, because I need somebody to watch it with me. Um. Okay, so she's finished. Hi, Shana. Thank you for being here. Make sure you guys subscribe to Shana_MCD. What else you say, Shani? I was like that with my son growing up. I never let him see me cry. My mom never let me see her cry either. Like, she was kind of one of those people that my mom really doesn't cry. My mom's not a crier. I think I've seen my mom cry twice in my life, and I'm 35. So maybe 3 times. Maybe there was a third time in there somewhere. But yeah, 3 times in my 35 years, which it's pretty good. But moving on. So Kimmy puts together this bath bomb date with Destiny, Trish, and Tisha. And when she gets there and all of the ladies arrive, Destiny got there super late, but she was able to make her bath bombs. And she asked, "Where's Nell? Why is Nell not here?" And Kimmy said, "Well, Nell has that event tonight, so I didn't think she would be able to make it. So I didn't reach out to her to invite her." So I was like, Kimmy, and this is what I'm talking about. Because for me, y'all, I feel like that was rude of Kimmy to do. If you want me to be there and you feel like I cannot be there, ask me first before you just assume because I'm busy that day that I cannot make it. I don't know who does that. Like, if you know, like, even just to give me the courtesy. It's obvious that Kimmy didn't want her there because they were going to talk about her. Point blank in the period. So I was really pissed with Kimmy when she said that. I was like, you could have invited her and let her have the opportunity to say yay or nay. Mrs. Best, do you agree with that, or do you feel that maybe Kimmy was in her right to do that?
Kimmy is usually wrong. And Kimmy likes to. It's weird that Kimmy acts as if she still has this like she's still the person of reason, like she was in like seasons 1 and 2. When it's like, Kimmy, you messier than everybody else on here. If the tables were turned, Kimmy knows that she would have a problem with it, but because she's doing it and Melody is gone, the Scots 1 and 2.0, I think they both have the attitude that they're going to be able to like run shit in terms of how the show goes. I also agree with Shayna's comment. Like, Kimmy has never been able to stand Nell. But if you can't stand somebody and you on fucking TV, especially if you gonna have your husband out here getting DUIs and cheating and doing God knows what, and last season you didn't have nothing to talk about because y'all don't want to share your business, so you used your kid for a storyline. Like, Kimmy, stop. It's rude. And I don't really stand Nell either, but what did Nell do to you? And separately from that, you have a show to film. So if y'all gonna take over and try to keep the show going a certain way, then you have to understand that you got to interact with people you don't like sometimes. So I
Hmm.
can't understand why she wouldn't invite her. And then she tried to manipulate the audience, making it seem like in that scene, like, oh, we just need to spend time with each other. Girl, bye. Fake bitch. I don't
Right.
like when people move like that. Because if you really wanted to spend time with everyone and wanted to get everyone together, then you would have made the effort to figure it out. Y'all in Huntsville, y'all not that damn busy.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So that part laid the conversation to talk about Destiny meeting up with Nell and that whole point of Nell explaining to Destiny that Letitia need to keep her fucking name out her mouth. And that warranted because Tisha told Destiny that Nell left the reunion early to go see about Lance and this new baby. Now, when Destiny brings that up to the ladies, Tisha's like, well, that's what she said. That's what she told us, Kimmy. Ain't that what she said? That's what she said. And I'm looking at Tisha like, oh God, you gonna get on my nerves this season already. This is my problem with the whole situation. Even if she told you that, that was not for you to then go and point it to Destiny and say, oh, Nell knew about that baby because she left. That's why she left the reunion. That's, I'm sure, and I'm saying allegedly because I don't know the truth, but I'm sure that's how you brought that to Destiny. I'm sure you brought it to Destiny that Nell knew that Lance had a baby on the way because that's what was being discussed in the moment, whether or not Nell knew. So you put in that extra add on of Destiny as hold on, how am I gonna put this? Because it pissed me off because I was like, I don't know what you getting mad about, Tisha. At the end of the day, I would have looked at it as messy too and would have told Destiny the same fucking thing. That ain't got nothing to do with y'all. So I don't understand why that would be a big problem. But whatever. And Destiny said that she had a conversation with Lance. They just agreed that they were just going to coexist and be friends, and that she's actually interested in Twan, which is googly eyes, according to Kimmy. And Kimmy was all like, "Well, she's a single woman. She's able to do what she wants, so that's fine. She's gonna be with googly eyes." And yeah, I don't bit more. As I told y'all, I don't bit more believe this storyline than anything else. I don't
Kimmy's
with
never
Destiny.
gonna see anything wrong with somebody dating someone they probably shouldn't date when the timeline of when she got with her man is questionable at minimum. So
Mhm.
I expect for her to, oh, she's young, she's single. Just because you single don't mean you move the way that Destiny moves with men. Because Destiny give me the type of single woman that move funny with men, but when they move funny with her, she plays victim.
I agree. My next thing that I was going to ask you is, do you feel like Tisha should feel a way about Nell saying "keep my name out your motherfucking mouth" in regards to this whole baby situation when it came to
Why the
Lance?
fuck are they involved? They don't talk to her son. They are not dating her son. Tisha got her own husband that she needs to, figure out why he don't come home. She got her own stuff she needs to figure out. Why are you mad about a situation that does not impact you? Like, without even coming at Tisha, because we could be here all night coming at Tisha. But like, why be upset about something that does not impact you? If you are not Nell's family, if you are not single, this should not impact you at all. It just shouldn't. And
This is
secondly, it- like,
no. Go ahead.
who cares if this man had a baby? He had a baby. Okay. If he wanted to, I feel like if Lance wanted to be with Destiny, he would have been with Destiny and vice versa. So it's like we're doing all of this over a dude that she was never even officially with. Like, it did not go nowhere.
It was this relationship is a storyline for the TV show. Destiny wasn't bit more with that man than anything else. And I told y'all this. I didn't believe it when it happened. Just because one, it's weird. Two, she did this with Kimmy's son seasons before. So I don't understand why it's the same shit with Destiny. It's the same shit over and over again. Now, I don't care who she did. That ain't none of my business. And I don't really care her putting it on the TV screen. But if she gonna do it, I need it to be legitimate.
I agree with Shani's comment too, because the other part of that, separate from it not being a business and impacting them, you can never expect a parent to choose you and the show and their job and shit over their child. Like that's still Nell's kid. So he's grown. She can only do so much. But it's like, I just don't understand how anybody moves on this show. I don't get this show with like the Scots and Destiny specifically. Because I feel like Martell's naturally an idiot. And so he's always going to be doing something stupid on and off screen. The Scott men are men, and I think they know that we know that they full of shit. Then you look at the Scott women, and it's like y'all doing the most, the absolute most, and it just does not make any sense. So it just it's either gonna come across as fake, or they look desperate to have a moment. They go Scots as well, because this show
Corntail.
could have a shot if the Scots would leave. If they were gone, they could probably build some different people up on the cast that don't have egos, that actually get to know other people and make something happen. But the Scots and Destiny, they gotta go, because Destiny don't have nothing to talk about anyway, and the stuff she does have to talk about, she won't talk to us about because it could impact her freedom.
She said, I'm not showing y'all my storage unit no more because I don't need y'all talking about it.
Who the fuck is burning candles in storage? That's a fire hazard.
I told you Destiny has some crock pots up there and she's putting that shit together. I know how you do it. I mean, it's, very easy to make candles these days. I know how I have a friend who makes candles. I get it. Yeah, she got a crock pot. She turned on low. She put that shit up in there. Then she molds it. And then there it is. It's very easy. So, we then move on because that's all I'm gonna talk about with these girls and this shit. As I said, Tisha didn't even need to get mad at that because at the end of the day, you shouldn't have ran that back to Destiny and being messy anyway. Because I know that's what you did. So yeah, let's move on. So it's we have Fletchertivities. That's what they call this event. Nell's hosting it. It looked like they were at somebody's apartment complex. And the what is that called? Not the utility room, the event space in the apartment complex. And so she had the food there. She was gonna play some games. It's a couples game. Everyone shows up. But Destiny and Lance were the last to show up. Martell is there without a date because this is a couples night. So everyone's saying it's couple-ish, and Martell is the ish. It's like, Martell, why are you here? If you're not gonna bring coleslaw with her dolphin teeth, shout out to Bondi Blue, why are you here? It did look like that. I was being nice and said somebody's apartment complex rec room, but pretty. Yeah, it was. It looked like, I'm sorry, it looked like apartments to me, but it could have been a hotel lobby, which have it where you have it. Their house is big. I don't know why they didn't have it at their house. Their house is big enough. I don't know what the hell going on, but yeah.
I wouldn't want them people in my house either.
Shit. So everyone's likes to ask, is Destiny and Lance gonna show up together? And Destiny actually was walking in at the moment they were talking about it, and she walks in with Will, which is Ken's friend. Now I said, now Destiny. I said, now y'all. I said, are y'all serious right now? For real? This is what we doing? This is how we gonna parlay Will to the show now? Carlos, I don't want to have to do you like I do Mona. I don't want to have to do you like I do Mona, but I will, because what is this? And that's the nervous talking about, well, Will sit in my DM. So, I figure he knew everybody in the same circle. So why not bring him? I'm dating. I could do that. I'm a single girl. I could date and everything. And I'm like, that's all well and fine. But you mean to tell me there's nobody else in Huntsville? You mean to tell me the dating pool is that small where you got to bring somebody else's friend to the
Pass around.
and based
She's
on
a
that
pass
conversation,
around. She's a
Based on that
fucking
conversation,
pass-around.
he acted like he was ready for that anyway. So I think Will is better looking than the God brother. Well,
He
actually, yeah,
is.
yeah,
He
yeah, absolutely,
is.
yeah. The
But
God
Will
brother,
don't
like he
want
just got out of high
Destiny.
school,
He just want to hit it. He don't want her. I promise
and
you, he don't want her.
that was embarrassing. We gonna get to that in a minute, but that was embarrassing. So, not y'all. So Trish was telling Nell about the event that Kimmy had put together. And Nell was like, "Well, I didn't get no invite. Was it a couples thing or was it just the girls?" And Trish said it was the girls thing. She goes, "Well, why didn't I get an invite?" And Kimmy was like, "Well, I just figured you had a lot going on with this event. I didn't think you were gonna make it." And I said, "See, Kimmy, this is what we be talking about. Because see, if I was Nell, Nell was like, okay." Nell took it like a champ. She didn't. She was in her feelings a little bit, but she was like, "Okay, that's fine." So, um, not a notch on this belt. What you saying, Shani? Destiny had a problem with Sunny marrying a man she used to date, but yet you still keep parading all these dudes in front of Lance, and that's okay. Um,
Her and Lance were
her
never
and Lance were never
in a
together.
relationship. And I think that is why so many people are annoyed with Destiny this season, especially when this just came back from their little weird ass break. We've got,
Hmm.
I think this is the third episode we've recapped, and in each episode, Destiny has had a different man.
Hmm.
Like, she's just doing what she's doing. Destiny is going to get karma to come her way. It's like she wants it to come her way. And we probably never gonna see it on TV. But at this point, it feels like she either a hoe or she's just gonna lean into dating different niggas on a show that's called Love and Marriage.
I
What
just
the
feel
fuck, Carlos? The show's called Love and Marriage, and you got to pass around dating boys that look like they just graduated high school not long ago, and then switching to Ken's friends, which alarms me. So we'll see.
Shannon, this is the questions of the century, and I'm gonna read it out loud. If Lance and Destiny were not in a real relationship, then what difference does it make if he had another baby and if Nell knew about it or not?
That is why the storyline is tired. And y'all be thinking I'm mean sometimes. Because sometimes I do get DMs on my Instagram for people, I guess, who watch these lives who I don't know. Nice to meet you, I guess. But it's not that I hate Love and Marriage Huntsville, but it's shit like this that ruins the show. If we have to ask questions like the question that Shani just commented, then that's when you put someone the fuck off of a show. Because you're not going to have, if you're a good producer or if you're a good show creator, whatever the fuck they call it in TV, Mr. Carlos King, then if somebody comes on your show and does stuff like this and waste everybody's time, refuses to show you their life, but then every time you're not filming, she's arrested, going to jail, and going through all of these things, she's bringing down the entire quality of the show, this one person. And they just letting it happen. I'm sick of Destiny.
I am too. I'm just sick of Destiny too. But that's the question of the century. Like, if y'all were not a couple, what the fuck does it matter?
Where's her kid? How come we never see her kid?
I don't think the Chicken King signed off for him to be on the show. Because I think Alabama is also one of those states where both parents have to consent to the children being on public television.
And then
So
y'all commented talking about she never explained why she got divorced. Like,
no,
why is she here?
no. All we know is that it's been a lot of rumors spiraling. Apparently, he filed for the divorce. I think that she did put that on the show. He filed for the divorce while she was still in the hospital giving birth. And then,
She was probably texting Lance in between
I don't
contractions.
think she knew Lance back then.
No, I'm being petty. Because the way she moved, if you want to spread this narrative about yourself, Destiny, go ahead. So be it. You
Hmm.
could be whatever you want to be. But if you going to come out here and peddle yourself to be a pass around hoe that be unrealistic and unreasonable in your expectations of others, then we going to start treating you that way. So if that man left you while you was allegedly giving birth, people don't just do shit like that. What was you doing to make him leave? I would love to know.
Hmm. The ex is the Chicken King. Yeah. Who did you think the ex was, Shanny? No, it's when she was yeah.
She was texting somebody
She
that
was
she shouldn't
texting
have been
him. Yep.
texting.
Well, I don't know what she didn't even go into details of what that really. All we saw was a man with white teeth and chocolate and a beard. That's all we saw. We didn't know when happened, when it was supposed to happen. We thought she was with a whole nother man at that point. So why she got so mad because somebody else married him was crazy too. So I don't, it is what it is. I ain't trying to go back because y'all know I didn't really see it for that storyline. Uh, I don't know who Desi's ex-husband is. I don't think I was watching the show then. Oh, Shanny, you missed out because that was some of its better times. Was those times? It was the show was better then than it is today. It has run its course, and I know y'all hate when I say this, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say two things. When Mel left the show, it started to go downhill. But when Tiffany left the show, it was like the mess never it was hard for the show to get messy. That lady carried this mess.
And Tiffany's mess, because so my hair braider had, Melita likes to watch, she loves Love and Marriage Huntsville, watches your channel for these lives and recaps. And she was watching some older episodes. And Tiffany, I can get why people don't like her, but I also don't understand the tough hate that she gets. But
Mm-hmm.
I think her leaving was a good thing. You can be messy all you want, but when you're so forward with it, it lets us know that you're putting on for the camera and it comes off as inauthentic. And now I'm starting to kind of see why nobody wants her back after properly watching her. And then to be pregnant and messy as hell too. Like, it's okay to be a little bit messy. I think that's what makes Housewives like better reality TV,
Yeah.
because they throw what I like to call like fun shade, light shade, stuff like that. The shit that Tiffany did was not fun. It was not light. It was not funny. Like, now that and I just recently watched this shit. So I'm like, oh, I kind of get why y'all don't fuck with Tiffany now. And then for me, she was a little bit annoying. Like, she didn't make my teeth fully itch, but she made me like, ooh, I might need to go get some Listerine and brush. You know what I mean? Like, she wasn't bad, but I think that's the problem with this show. The people who come on and give mess, they do too much, and it turns us off. And then the people who are left, they don't do enough, which
Mm-hmm.
turns us off. I think this show died and should have ended when Mel and Martell divorced. I've always felt that way. There's nothing after the show, after they divorced, that would make it to where any other network would want to pick it up, or really the quality is just ugh. But hopefully they can figure out how to rebuild a new cast. Like, and I hate to say it, if you got to build a new cast around Latricia's crazy ass and Ken's earring, do it. But everybody old needs to go.
I agree with that. I do. Everybody go old does need to go. But let me get on Kevin Reynolds real quick while he's sitting over here trying to call me
Not
out
gag
about.
me with a spoon.
Yeah, I had to
She's
get on.
annoying. She was annoying, but she doesn't deserve, I think, like the audience response,
No,
like
she does
from
not.
people. That's a little much. She was annoying, but you have to be mad at the producers, not Tiffany, y'all,
Not
because they
Tiffany,
allowed that
because
shit.
because they were the ones feeding her this shit so she could say it. Like, I'm sorry, just because she was the person brave enough to do it does not mean she needs to be the most hated of all the cast. Like, because nobody else was going to do it. Did you see Letitia and Kimmy up there doing it? Nope. So, therefore, who else was going to do it? And that's the reason why Mel brought her on the show. And I understand that from a producer standpoint. I can understand that because
Producers need to learn how to hold their cast members they have accountable. The
they
moment
do.
that you have to make the decision to bring somebody else on the show because the people you have there are not given is when you switch up your cast. And it's unfortunate because Carlos has worked on other networks and other shows and done great jobs. But I feel like with him, it's more of an ego thing. You have to switch up your cast here and there. He waits too long to do it.
He does, but I'm just saying I can't be like ever since Tiffany left the show, y'all, and ever since Mel left the show, they don't have anything to because they ganged up on Tiffany too. It wasn't just, but hers was rightfully so. I could see why they ganged up on her because hers was rightfully so. With Mel, I never really felt like I just felt like they used that and they milked it for all they could. Shana, you talking about Stormy? That's who you're talking about. Do I miss Stormy on the show a little bit?
No.
a little bit. I don't miss her family, but I feel like she was too big of an entrepreneur for the show. I feel like this was kind of a like maybe get some recognition from an audience maybe she normally would not get, but I think she had too much of a network for this. That's like to me that would be like almost like who can I put in this category that would be weird, like that has a really big network and like has like a successful business and putting in with these folks. Because I can't even think of somebody. But yeah, she was never needed. We want the mess to feel organic. Shout out to Nene. None of
Yep.
this.
If it's not organic, it will never land ever.
Carlos made comments like that about other shows, or maybe we need to get rid of this person and bring a new person, or just revamp the cast. I've heard him say that on his show. I've heard him say that too about other shows as well, and I'm just like, wow, because the same could be said about this show right here. What we saying, Shayna? The show was falling off even when Tiffany was on the show. We'll never get that season one feel again.
That's true.
No, we won't, and that's because I'm gonna say season one and season two, because season two was good as well. I think once again, like Mrs. Best had a point, like the show should have ended when Martell and Mel decided to get a divorce. Because then it became all about their divorce, all about their drama, all about the side chicks, coleslaw with her dolphin teeth. Shout out to Bondi Blue. So for me, I just feel like that's really what the show became about. It was more so focusing on them than the original concept, which was the comeback group trying to rebuild a community that, you know, was low income and everything. So
I don't think they never even really wanted to do that. I think the people on the show wanted to do that. But I don't think Carlos King gave a fuck whether anything was done for the community or not. Because even when they used to be trying to do stuff and showing their group doing things for the community, trying to work together, all that we really got to see was the negative parts of it for the most part, more so than the positive. I think Carlos King, because I was watching, what was it, the Bell Collective reunion we just had?
mhm.
And something happened in the reunion, like in between um sets. Someone had to run on stage and stuff, and I was looking like, oh, I see what's happening here. I feel like Carlos King is one of those people who is just gonna hire people who think exactly the way that he thinks, so that he can remain, in control to a certain extent, which I get. But the problem with hiring a bunch of like-minded people is that you're gonna get the same like-minded, simple ass fucking ideas, thoughts, and things like that as it relates to the show. He I don't know. He needs to spend less time on Reality King podcast or whatever the fuck it's called, and put more time into his shows, because Bell Collective was a disaster this season. Love and Marriage Huntsville is a disaster. Like, all of his shows right now are a disaster. And honestly, the only shows that Carlos has that I do not like and think is just absolute trash is Love and Marriage Detroit. Huntsville has potential. Huntsville has potential, but
Detroit doesn't.
no. And then you gotta look at it that way. If he don't even give a fuck about a place he from,
I just feel like he rushed to Detroit. I feel like that couldn't have been the pick of the litter of Detroit that you really thought was going to do something on this show when we can't even verify any of the credentials of any of these people.
it's crazy. It shows you that he's all over the place. He doesn't want to listen to people, and sometimes it's a good thing to have like a structural hierarchy as it relates to work and things like that. Like sometimes stuff like that is necessary. And he just seems totally, totally against it. But if you don't care enough about your hometown to make the show that represents your hometown the best, like if someone approached me and was like, I want to put you on a show, or I want you to produce a show about Oakland or the Bay Area. Oh, I'm taking my fucking time. I don't care if it takes years, because I'm not going to represent where I'm from and what built me incorrectly. But Carlos don't even give a fuck to represent his own city, right? And Detroit has some wonderful people, and look who he chose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kevin Reynolds says Stormy was pure utter trash. Damn, Kevin Reynolds. Like, I had to put this up
Damn.
here for a minute because I don't think she was pure and utter trash. I think, honestly, she just got a bad rep. And I do think there was some ignorant in her. I do. Like, I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, she was successful before the show and she's very successful after the show. So, I mean,
I don't think she was meant for reality TV. I think she's just
I
a
think
Southern belle that got successful. But they're just because you have success don't mean you got to go on TV.
Right. Because as I said, she was very ignorant, but I still liked her. I did. I liked her a lot. I heard in season 1, Marcel didn't allow his wife out the house too much. Is that true? Yep. You won't like Marcel, like especially in the earlier seasons. You won't like him at all.
I see why he had the bitch in the house. Don't laugh at me. I'm serious. If we look at Tisha today, look at Letitia Scott today, and look at her last season, and look at her the season before that. I'd keep that bitch on the lease too. So I can't even be mad at Marceau for that. I can't.
Well, okay, we just go move on before because I'm finna fall on this floor and I can't afford to fall. So let me go ahead. Marriage
You can't
Huntsville
afford
is
to fall.
now. I can't afford to fall though. I cannot. Love and Marriage Huntsville now is like watching, with Kevin Reynolds. Yeah, he don't like no. I know Kevin Reynolds don't like nobody on this show.
Really? Kevin, is that true? I need you to confirm, my kind
Mm,
sir, in the comments. Do you have, because you know what? I've never really seen him comment nothing too positive about any of these.
yes.
Who's
When
your
he gonna bring
favorite,
back Love and
Kevin?
Marriage DC? That's the only one that I watch. Why are you laughing? Who are you talking about? I hope Stormy and her husband get their second baby safely. I do too. You just nice, James. Stormy was trash. Sorry, not sorry. As I said, I feel like I feel like she was ignorant. Yes, absolutely. She did some ignorant shit on the show, but I don't think she was trash. I just don't. I don't think
She
she
was
was
also on
trash.
the wrong show. I don't think she's for reality TV in general, but I feel like if she was on a different platform with a different cast, she might have done a little bit better. Just a little bit.
Maybe,
Why do you say
maybe
wow? What did I say?
when you said he asked me why he kept Tisha in the house,
I'm in Mexico. I just finished the tequila tasting. I'm blaming it on the alcohol like Jamie Foxx.
it was male. Who was
Oh, I guess
who
that's
was?
who he liked on the show.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I loved Mel too. She was my favorite. I didn't like any. There's a time I didn't like any of the cast except for her. And then some
That's why
people
she
won me
got
over.
millimeters and the rest of them have nothing.
Nah, I wasn't a millimeter. Yeah, I was
No,
one
but
of
I'm
them.
saying it
No,
makes
I know,
sense
I
why
know,
she
I
was
know.
able to build that up because the rest of them, I ain't seen they fans
Well,
nowhere.
because she was the only one that made sense. That was the only person who made sense on the show. Everybody else did not make sense to me. But let me move on, y'all, because we spent too much time on this.
Let me be twin.
Yep, exactly. She sure would have. Yep. So, anyways, y'all, we gonna go. So, Kimmy comes up to Nell and says after they played their little cute little games, the musical spoons, and the beer pong reverse. So now they want to talk because Tisha said the entire night, I don't want to talk to Nell. I don't want to apologize to Nell. I don't want to do that with Nell. And I'm looking at Tisha, then why the fuck did you come? What the fuck are you doing there then? So they pull Nell outside. And Kimmy's like, I think it's a perfect time for us to hash things out and everything. And Nell says she ain't got no problem with nobody. Like, there's nothing really to hash out. And so Letitia said, okay, well then Nell, why did you say that I need to keep your name out your motherfucking mouth or out my motherfucking mouth? And she said, well, yeah, anything pertaining to my granddaughter is off limits. And Tisha was like, well, I wasn't talking about your granddaughter. I was talking about you saying that that's why you left LA. And Nell said, that's not what I said. I never told you that. I never said anything about that. And Nell's like, what is this? What is this supposed to be? Because everyone's pretty much jumping on her. Destiny was trying to make sense of it, but it wasn't going in the right direction. Nell was like, look, as I told y'all, my granddaughter is off limits. I don't know what y'all want me to say. I don't know what y'all want going on. And it gets heightened. And Kimmy said, Nell, you better stop yelling at me. I'm going to throw your ass in that pool. Why she say that? Nell said, you ain't going to throw me up in nothing. So Nell gets up. Destiny and Trish get in the middle of them. And then Nell kind of reaches over and she kind of pushes Destiny. And I said, damn, the one time I wanted Destiny to fall. But she was getting him. I said, woo. Go ahead now. I knew you had it in you. I knew it was there. I didn't know it was there.
You don't play with people's kids, and what these people don't understand Well, they understand it, they're just ignoring it because it's not their kids. If anybody, because Tisha, when people was commenting on your husband's BS and you was throwing that fit because Martell was talking about all the things that he probably done did with your husband and his other hoes, like you was really upset. And how would my kids be impacted, and they're getting older, they could, but every time y'all talk about this situation with Nell's son, her kids, now the kids of her kids, like you're talking about people's families, and then you speaking on some shit that got nothing to do with you. You have to be talking about it. So I don't understand that. But Kimmy, let me tell you something, you bald headed, big four headed, having ass bitch. Figure out why the fuck your husband don't love you enough for those parting the vows, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health. Bitch, when you was in sickness, literally fighting cancer, your nigga was more worried about busting a nut. Worry about that instead of telling somebody that you want to push them in the pool. Because where I'm from, if you tell me to shut the fuck up or you finna push me in a pool, you would have been wet. You would have been wet already, some way. I would have drowned you in water, champagne, or I just would have spun around you a bunch of ways, shaking you, spinning you in circles, and pushing you everywhere, making you dizzy because Kimmy's old as hell and will probably get dizzy quickly. I feel like vertigo setting in. I would have got her some way. But you don't get to threaten people, Kimmy, and then act like
They
you don't
wrong for jumping. No, yeah,
understand why they're
yeah.
angry at you. If you say, and you from Baltimore, Kimmy, too, you from the same place as Christian Rock. So you should definitely know that if you say to somebody, I'll push your ass in this pool, that they going to stand up and go crazy on you. She needs
Well,
to
first
figure
of
some
all,
of
she
her
had
life
no
out.
reason to say that. Nell's so damn passive aggressive. Kevin Reynolds, I get you don't like Nell, but she wasn't wrong this time. Like this time, I'm gonna give it like because that's her business. Like who the fuck are they to ask her business? So I get what you're saying. She is at times, but this time I will allow it because I just felt like they were all out of line. They were.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, it's not exactly Shani. Once again, it's not their business. Lance Day came dressed like she was going to the club afterwards. No, Lance's day come like she finna go get her some after the event over. That's exactly what she was dressed like. That's exactly what that dress was looking like. Kimmy was all the way wrong for throwing somebody in the pool. If you felt she was yelling in your face, you could have just said to her, "Yo, stop yelling in my face." Exactly. Why did there have to be an imposed threat after that? If you really felt like that, why did there have to be an imposed threat? So everyone breaks up. The men then come outside, they break it up. And Kimmy said something that was so interesting. And I'm about to say it. Let me just get through these comments real quick. I love y'all when y'all be in this chat. Oh my God. I would have told Kimmy, I triple dog dare you to throw me in that pool. I probably wouldn't even have got to that point. Timmy probably would have tipped over in that chair. I'm just saying.
I am literally here for James because that's all that I have. I do not watch this show and had never cared for it. I had attempted. I viewed OWN as the Tubi of cable. After I had watched, what was that show by Tyler Perry? The Haves and the Have Nots. And there was another one he had. I can't remember the name of it. It was soapy. But that was like a time OWN was struggling. I tried to come back to OWN because she got into it with Tyler Perry. And then Carlos King had all these shows. I had tried Love and Marriage Huntsville on my own. And I just did not feel like it was put together in a way that could be received well by people everywhere. It just felt lazy or cheap. Every season feels like they on a budget and are trying to put together the first season of a show. So yes, Love and Marriage Huntsville grinds my gears, but again, I do see the potential in it. But also, Kevin, I don't like these niggas. None of them. There's not one that I like. I didn't even like Melody. I can understand why she was more likable, but I didn't even like Mel. I think all these people are overrated and not meant for TV personally, but I digress.
I didn't want to recap this show.
He sure didn't.
So this is the reason why she's here. If y'all really want the answer to this question, she is the reason why I'm here. The only way I was doing this show is if she would have done it too. Because I wasn't getting up here by myself. I just wasn't. So
Yeah, he didn't want to do it. I pushed him to cover Love and Marriage.
was not doing it. Was
Shows
not
that
doing
we enjoy, if we cover a show we enjoy here and there, like for me, it was Love After Lockup. Like they tend to do well, they tend to get views, things like that. You know, not
it. Oh,
oppression. I've heard this before on the Oppressed Women's Network because it seemed like even the Never Ever Mets, which is an own show I cover, it seemed like all the women they really do act oppressed.
mm-hmm. Exactly. But yeah, Kimmy said something interesting, y'all. Kimmy said that her father used to be very loud and obnoxious and belligerent when he would drink. And that is a trigger for her. So when Nell gets louder in her face, it brings her back to that. And I said, that is very interesting, Kimmy.
Kimmy, all
Very
these people you
interesting.
done been around. What season are we in now?
Season 10.
10
Evan, this is
seasons. This bitch been here since season 1. We done see people yelling, hollering, drunk, and in faces season after season. Now, when Nell raises her voice a little bit, didn't even fully holler, you go so crazy. And if you are triggered by someone doing that, then you would leave. A triggered person is not going to stand up and threaten to push you in the pool.
right.
And you
Exactly.
doing that at her event.
So I have to understand this because someone being loud after drinking and everything is a trigger for you, but somebody who allegedly has cheated on you and was drinking and getting DUIs, that's not a trigger for you, Kimmy? I just want to know because I'm very interested to find that cheating isn't a trigger because it happened before you were married, and your husband getting a DUI is not a trigger. But a lady who is defending herself because y'all are calling her out, that's a trigger because it reminded you of your dad and his drinking and him yelling in your face. That is very interesting.
You filmed with Tiffany, but you talking about this as a trigger. Okay, Kimmy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kimmy simply came with us with the bullshit. Knock it off. I want to say that, Kevin. I really do because that didn't make any sense to me. It did not make any sense. It could very much well be a trigger for her. I'm not going to dismiss that. It could very much well be a trigger for her. But what I find interesting is that that's a trigger from a lady you have no ties or commitment to. But your husband, on the other hand, could do the same kind of shit because he drinks. He doesn't shy away from that. Maurice does not shy away from alcohol. And he can be obnoxious, but that's not a trigger. Okay, Kimmy. Got it. Mm-hmm. Understand 100% because that didn't make no fucking sense to me. I'm sorry. That does not make sense to me. That's crazy. Kimmy, maybe you should have left Nell alone when she first said she didn't want to talk. I 100% agree with that. But they
People
were
need to
being
learn how to do that more. When somebody says they're not ready to talk or don't want to, don't leave them alone.
Maybe Kimmy came out the way because she ain't got no storyline and nothing to talk about.
That's why she was trying to use her son for her storyline.
Which was stupid. Because that man is how old now? 25, 26? That
Crying
shit is
about
old.
his daddy.
That shit is old. That shit is old now. Like it doesn't even matter. Like, and I don't really care about in the future scenes of her and Maurice talking about his sex addiction, which you need to look into that more than you need to look into people's mess on this show. Because something ain't right about that. And I keep telling y'all, when men have sex addictions like that, they're either running from homosexuality or they've been touched on, or they are hypersexual because of something they were exposed to and now they can't control it. So yeah, I would look more into that versus you trying to look over some mess of whether or not somebody knew they had a new grandchild or not. Just saying, mind the business that pays you, because that man having them first, and then also at the end of the day, him and Destiny were not together. So what the fuck does it matter if he had a baby on the way or not? He don't owe nothing to y'all. He ain't even on the show like that. So they all get on my nerves. So Nell and Kimmy were able to make amends. They do apologize to each other, which Nell is better than me because I wouldn't have apologized for a fucking thing. You threatened to throw me in the water. I'm not apologizing to you. But Nell took the high road and apologized. Now he favors Uncle Fester. Ooh.
He does. If he had a tan.
Anyways, y'all, but that was the episode. It wasn't really much of anything. Next week's episode, like, is gonna be a whole lot better. But let's hope and pray because this episode really irritated me. I don't know if they need a new cast. I don't know if they need new producers. I don't know what they need, but they need to do something. That's all I'm gonna say. They need to do
You
something.
know, they need to cancel the show. I think that in recent times, and it's not just Carlos King, like shows I cover on my channel, like Love and Hip Hop, why is this shit still on TV? It came on TV before I got married, and I got married a very long time ago. So I feel like they just need to stop trying to keep shows on TV because of what they used to be able to do. Turn the shit off, put it together, put a new plan together, come up with a new show, something. Because this whole episode, like the first part of it was depressing between Tish and her issues. The middle part of it confused us between Destiny and all these different men. And then the ending of it pissed us off because you got somebody with no storyline who has nothing to give making a beef with the older person for no apparent reason.
I agree. No, Shandy's comment. I'm laughing because Color Me Pink. When I tell you Color Me, shout out to Color Me Pink. I love her so much. When she called Destiny a bubble eye bitch, I fucking hollered. I'm sorry. And then I couldn't see it watching the episode because I was looking directly at Destiny's eyes. And I said, "Ooh, she do." Color Me Pink. I love her so much. She be killing me. I'm sorry. She do. Apology, Nell still not over hits Nell Oh, well, you know what?
Nell is never going to let this go.
She's
And
not.
that's the
And
other thing that's going to annoy the crap out of us because it's going to be, we going to be at season 17 probably. And Nell is still going to be bringing up, you remember back in 2025 when you said you wanted to throw water on me? Well, I just never was able to get through. Like so just let this lady run her daycare, please.
yes, and we're going to read her for filth next episode if she brings it back up again. When she brings it back up, so Kevin Reynolds, be here next weekend. I'm going to read her for filth because I know she's going to do it, and it's going to aggravate the hell out of me. And I'm going to read her for filth depending on how the scene actually comes about. Shani said, James, how do you feel about Lance feeling some type of way about homeboy talking a little bit rude about Destiny? I didn't even bring that up because I didn't really care because I don't think it's real. So I'm not going to, really entertain it. But watching the scene, I feel like he shouldn't feel no type of way. I feel like it's bullshit. That's one. Two, I feel like it's because probably Destiny is going to give it up to him versus giving it up to Lance. I think that's really what he's mad at, if I really want to be real. And three, at the end of the day, Destiny grown and she chose to date other people. So he shouldn't feel a way about it. If the dude is dogging her out, that's what she get. Because she agreed and said yes. I hope she watches it back and feel like, oh, homeboy is tripping. But knowing Destiny, this is the kind of man she likes. Destiny likes men with money who seem like they're just rude and disrespectful. So, yeah.
You are what you attract.
Mm-hmm. The dude Destiny came in with, I can't remember his name. His name is Will. That's Ken's friend.
And the way Will gives Ken advice, Will don't want nothing from Destiny but what's between her thighs.
Absolutely. And I couldn't agree with you more. That's why I say he shouldn't feel no type of way. And I feel like vice versa. I feel like that's what Destiny wants too. And if that's what she wants, then fine. I hope it's good. I hope it's great. I hope it make you feel so good that maybe you'll have a whole new attitude. Just saying. Being that Lance said nothing implies Lance is complacent. Sorry. No. And that's another thing. Thank you for pointing that out, Kevin Reynolds. He didn't say, hey, don't be disrespectful. That's real rude. But no, he just sat there and laughed. So he couldn't have felt that bad about it. Yes, Will Q. He all right. Now, is he the better out of all the guys Destiny's had on the show that we have seen, including Lance and included the Chicken King, Moses? I feel like there was another dude somewhere between that too, but I think Moses was the most attractive one that she's had on the show. And I think I'll give him second best. That's how I'm gonna say. It's gonna go Moses then Will. That's how I'm gonna put it. Because I feel like that's who she really wanted to be with, but he got married to somebody else. He is cuter than the other one. Honestly, if Lance wasn't so short, I probably would. Yeah, he is like compared to Lance. Yeah, he is, but yeah, but it's because Lance is short. I don't think Lance looked too much like Nell for me, and every time I wish I would have seen him first before I seen his mama. Because now that I've known who Nell is, I can't look at him without looking at her, and that's going to be weird for me. That's probably why I'll never think he's cute.
Lance gets a cheat code with women because he light skinned it and he got dreads, and women eat that shit up. If you cut his dreads, though, he ain't all that. He just a basic little man. That's all.
True. Yeah, but that was it, y'all. That was Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're gonna get up out of here. My next live will be tomorrow for Real Housewives of Potomac, and I'm gonna try to put together an updates live because a lot has happened in Housewives land. We got divorces, people getting wrangled up by the cops. More information came out about Wendy. Lots of what happened last week, and I think this is it. I don't think anything else is going on. At least I hope not, because that's too much shit to put together. So
That's why you gotta do it as it comes, so that you could keep the content,
I ain't
and
got
then you'll have more videos.
I didn't have time last week because I would have done that. Was the dude that was between all of them? That was maybe Corn. Damn, that was Martell. A base. Okay, good night, y'all. I'm going to sleep now. Thank you so much for
I
coming.
love Kevin.
I love Kevin too. I love all of you guys. Thank you. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the replay gang. Sorry y'all missed the live, but that's okay. Catch my next one. Be tomorrow. I'm going to try. My New Year's resolution will be to try to put a schedule together for y'all. So I'm going to do my best to do that. But I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night, y'all. Bye-bye.